Since Obamacare failed to launch on October 1st, the administration's been the butt of ongoing late-night TV jokes, and Saturday Night Live's been having a field day with the disastrous rollout. Take a look at this.
A lot of folks have been talking about our new healthcare enrollment website, how it's been crashing and freezing and shutting down and stalling and not working and breaking and sucking. Unfortunately, the site was only designed to handle 6 users at a time. So if you're in a rush, consider using our low-res website with simpler fonts and graphics.
People may be mocking it, but it's not a joke to everyone. This afternoon, Ed Henry pressed Jay Carney on whether the president told the truth to Americans about his health care law going back to the campaign.
When he was trying to get the law passed, repeatedly said, if you currently have health insurance, you'll be able to keep your plan. This morning, David Axelrod was pressed on that point and said the majority, the vast majority, will get to keep their plans. He no longer works at the White House. From that podium, will you admit that when the president said, if you have a plan, you'll get to keep it, that was not true?
So it's true that there are existing health care plans on the individual market that don't meet those minimum standards and therefore do not qualify for the Affordable Care Act.
All right, Greg, let me start with you. I want to talk about ridicule. When your policy or your campaign or your candidate becomes the target of ridicule on Saturday Night Live, have you a huge problem on your hands?
I don't really think so, because I feel like the joke is on us for laughing. You know, oh, finally the cool kids are now seeing what all the dorks have been seeing for 2 years, and we're supposed to be grateful for this one little, kernel of satire, because there's no lesson to be gained from this humor. These actors who are playing these roles will still go and vote for big government and wealth transfer, so they're still the slave to emotion. It's not going to change anything, because they're going to go back and they're going to make fun of 90% of the time of Republicans. I mean, the fact is, what America needed was catastrophic health care, and we got catastrophic health care.
And with the catastrophic rollout. But to me, Kimberly, you were laughing when we were rolling that, because in a way it's like good to laugh about it, and maybe it's a little bit of a release to be like, well, we told you so.
Well, and also finally a little bit of reality. Somebody took off, the rose-colored glasses and realized that there's problems, there's flaws, there's real issues to be dealt with, and that a fraud has been perpetuated against the American people. Thank you, Saturday Night Live, for finally being honest. And not just doing something against Republicans. You've got something here that is real, and I think it was a very funny impression of Sebelius.
Eric, if you take that line that President Obama repeated to try to get the law passed, which was, if you like your health care plan, if you like your doctor, you can keep it. When that turns out, for most people, to be not true, do you think does that undermine the entire law, or do you think that they can actually turn this around? They say it'll be working by November 30th.
Well, that's just one of the things that that aren't true about the Obamacare law. The first and foremost and most important to me was they promised it was going to be $890 billion. That's how much they said it was going to cost over 10 years. It's now up to $1.8 trillion, and if this continues, if people, A, can't sign up, or B, don't want to sign up because it's too expensive, and we're seeing that. Young people say, it's just cheaper for me to take this tax. So think about that for a second. I'm going to touch on that for 1 second. If that continues at this pace, it could be a $3 or $4 trillion expense to the American people. So that's the big one. He said you can keep your dog. They lied about so many things to get this thing passed. From top to bottom, they lied about abortion not being in it originally. Remember, that wasn't going to be part of it. It somehow worked its way in. They even got one congressman to sign on, promising him that abortion wasn't going to be in. I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, Stupak, Bart Stupak, correct.
Nice,
yep.
Yeah.
So then it comes back. So top to bottom, they've lied about it. But talk about this for 1 second. When you realize how much this is going to cost them, they're going to have to do one of two things: either tax the hell out of it and give the IRS, who's going to enforce this thing, they're going to have to muscle them up a little bit, because right now the IRS cannot garnish your wages. They can't take money from you. So you just have to hope these people pay their taxes, or they're going to have to turn around and say every taxpayer in America is going to have to pick up the tab for this $3 or $4 trillion.
That's what's going to happen, because they don't have enough money in the till to balance it out. Absolutely. And now you've got young people, they're going to be uninsured, angry, and penalized by the government. So does it make any sense? People are not better off, worse off. You don't need to be like a genius to figure that out. And people are going to get angrier about it. It's going to be a problem for you.